Hey everybody, this is Ken from Mouse Hacking, here to talk to you about Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. If you don't know anything at all about the party, uh, Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party is a party held on select dates in August, September, and October at the Magic Kingdom in Florida, Walt Disney World Resort. It's not every night, it's only select nights, and you have to have a special ticket to get in. So your standard Magic My Way or annual pass won't get you into this one. You have to throw down some more money to Disney for an extra ticket. So I'm just going to be going over 13 things. 13 because it's a spooky number. Got it. 13 things to know about Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. If you want more, we've got this list in blog post form over on the site, mousehacking.com, as well as a full guide to the Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. So let's begin. So I want to start with some basics about Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. These are just some simple things that you should know. So first of all, Disney will tell you that the party starts at 7 p.m. and finishes at 12 a.m. This is not quite true. Guests who have tickets for the party can actually enter Magic Kingdom using their party tickets as early as 4 p.m. There's no official source that lists this, but it is probably the most open secret in Disney at all. It's on the Disney Moms Parks blog, Disney Moms blog, or whatever it's called. They answer questions frequently for Disney and inform people, yeah, you can get to the party at 4 p.m. So 4 p.m., between 4 and 7, you'll see some merchandise on sale, some of the characters might be out, and you're only going to have access to that stuff if you have the party wristband, which you can get when you enter after 4 p.m. or at select locations throughout the park. And 12 a.m. is the time that most things are going to close. Rides, ride queues are going to shut down at that point. Any character lines that haven't been cut off are going to get cut off at that point. Candy distribution is going to stop. But the very last show, which is a showing of the Hocus Pocus show, that is at 12 a.m. It's about a 20 to 30-minute show. And then after that, you can stick around and shop. Typically, I think the latest that people are there is like 12:45 to 1 a.m. And of course, Disney Transportation is going to continue to run for a while after that. So Disney says 7 p.m. to 12 a.m. Really, the truth is going to be 4 p.m. until sometime after 12 a.m. So that's the first thing that you want to know. The number 2 thing to know, still in the basics here, is that at Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party, costumes are allowed and encouraged for children and adults alike. The Disney dress code typically prohibits adults from wearing costumes at Walt Disney World, at least in the parks. One exception to this is they're kind of flexible around Run Disney events. But the big one is going to be the Not So Scary Halloween Party, when adults are actually encouraged to wear costumes. Just in case you're wondering why this is, it's basically a part of Disney's show, and they don't want kids to be confused seeing multiple princesses running around and stuff like that. But at Halloween, kids understand what's up. They like to see the adults involved too. There are some regulations as to what's allowed. If you read the ones online, there's some obvious ones, nothing that looks like a weapon, and some less obvious ones. They've got, nothing that touches the ground. Obviously, I don't speak for Disney. I can say we saw plenty of people who had dresses that touched the ground, stuff like that. So, your experience may vary on these things, but at the same time, the ones, that they're obviously going to enforce don't bring anything that looks like a weapon. Nobody who is in any full mask or anything like that is getting through, except for, kids can wear masks if their eyes are showing. Anyways, we link to the regulations in the blog post page, and you can also find them on the Disney Not So Scary Halloween section on their website. Number 3, candy is everywhere and unlimited. So most people are going to be sticking to the standard size candy bags. Disney gives you one when you arrive. Been told that you can ask for more. I don't see why that wouldn't be the case. They're pretty simple bags. You can also purchase, bags or buckets. You can bring your own. I didn't see anyone with any, crazy size candy bags because, really that's not the point. If you waste your time grabbing as much candy as you can possibly hold, um, you're still going to probably wind up on the losing end of it because, this is standard Halloween candy. It's nothing you can't find, bulk prices at Walmart or Costco. There are allergy-friendly stations in Liberty Square and at the front of the park, and they say that you can also just ask a cast member at any of the treat spots for allergy-friendly bag. I'd probably just stick with going to the Liberty Square in front of the park sections. They're going to have the largest supply. These are marked on the map. For the most part, they're just handing out this Mars, Wrigley, Skittles, chocolate, Snickers kind of candy. You'll also see we saw some applesauce being handed out. I think there's a few other treats at uh, a couple spots, but for the most part, you're just going to be getting these uh, handfuls of chocolate bars. So it's great. It's unlimited. It's not hard to come by. If you find yourself waiting in line at all for this, if the line's not moving very expeditiously, hop out of it. Don't waste your time with this. These lines, rise and fall, and you can certainly just walk right through plenty of these areas, especially as the night goes on. So, and if you find a good one and you want to stock up on candy, just keep going in and out. That's probably the easiest way to get a quick supply. So now that we've covered the basics about the hours, costumes, and candy, I want to move on and talk about some of the exclusive stuff that's going on at the party. So number 4 is you're going to have a chance to access exclusive merchandise and snacks. We were at Magic Kingdom before the Halloween party for the first time during Halloween, and we're pretty disappointed with the Halloween gear. Honestly, we thought it looked kind of just like they had some stock layouts and threw some Halloween stuff on them and printed it. But we were much more impressed with the Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party merchandise. Maybe Disney's just saving its best for people who are already willing to pay for the party. But this merchandise was actually pretty cool. The T-shirts were cool, and there was some good Hocus Pocus gear as well. So if you arrive, between 4 and probably about 7:30, you're going to see these areas roped off, guarded by cast members who will check your wristband before they let you in. Um, the merchandise locations are noted on the map, and there's also exclusive pins too. Snacks are another great perk. These, they're listed on Disney Parks blog. Some of them are actually available all day long. Some of them are only available during the party. We didn't try many of these. You've got tons of free sugar already, and none of these are I think going to be particularly spectacular. Some of them are Instagram worthy. I will say though, you'll see more stories of people getting them, and they're kind of falling apart. They don't quite look like the crazy design that you'll see in the official photos. So be prepared for that. One other thing I'll add is that the chilled apple cider is definitely just standard bottled apple juice. On the plus side, it's $3.50, which makes it, with some ice cubes, one of the more reasonably priced beverages in Disney World. New to Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party this year are 3 ride overlays. Now, if you're familiar with the gold standard of ride overlays, it's actually out in California at the Disneyland Haunted Mansion, and it's the Nightmare Before Christmas overlay. These overlays are nothing like that. They do not compare at all, really shouldn't even be mentioned in the same sentence, and I've committed a Disney sin by doing that already. What you need to know is there are 3 ride overlays at the Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party, at least for 2018. There's a Pirates of the Caribbean overlay, a Space Mountain overlay, and Mad Tea Party. Mad Tea Party is going to be just lights and music. Just walk by it, see what it is. If you want to hop in line for it, short line. but generally you're not missing much out on that one. Space Mountain was the one that we liked the most. It's going to be nearly pitch black. They can't get entirely pitch black in there. It's going to be nearly pitch black and set to rock music. That was one of the more fun experiences that we had at the party. Then Pirates of the Caribbean, they've added 2 live characters to the queue and 1 on the ride. It's a Gunpowder Pete story. The characters are pretty funny, but when you're talking about ride overlays and you're talking about, one of the most spooky rides in the park, kind of expect a bit more. So, if you're at all interested in meeting tons of characters or something like that, or you want to watch the shows over and over and over, the parade twice, put these ride overlays on the back burner. Definitely don't feel like you have to rush to those. If anything, doing one of them at the end of the night is probably going to be enough. We did all 3. They were fine, but we certainly wouldn't rush to do them. Again, we're not going to tell anyone to rush to do them. Number 6, we're going to combine 2 unique things for this item. There's a unique parade and a unique fireworks show. The Mickey's Boo to You Halloween Parade is all Halloween villain-themed floats. There's some great Haunted Mansion stuff in there and some great villain stuff. And the Hello Wishes fireworks are set to a kind of spooky, villainous song. The fireworks themselves are pretty good. Projections, it's actually pretty light on projections. There's some effects in there, but we actually really like that. We felt like it was kind of a throwback to the times when they had to rely on a creative soundtrack and some good firework effects. So we really like the fireworks. The parade, we didn't love it, but a lot of people who we really respect and think know more about parades than we do love it, and they say you should watch it twice. We're talking about Disney Tourist blog, Tom Bricker and Sarah Bricker. They say to watch it twice, or that they think you might want to watch it twice. So I guess at least try and watch the first showing of it. If you like the parade, see it twice. The second showing, it's a lot easier to get a good viewing point too. So maybe grab a distant viewing point for the first showing if you like it. Get a better one for the later showing. But it's fine parade. It's a little short for our liking, and we weren't as blown away as we were expecting. But there are some really cool items in there, and it's always nice to see unique things. So definitely watch it once. I've never said don't watch it at all. But we just aren't as sold on it as some other people. Great. Number 7 is the highlight of the Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party as far as we're concerned, and that is the Hocus Pocus Villain Spelltacular. This is an awesome show, really, through and through on all accounts. It's based around the Sanderson sisters from the hit Hocus Pocus film. If you haven't seen it, just stop listening here. Go find a way to watch Hocus Pocus. It's amazing, and definitely be sure to show it to your kids if they haven't seen it. But the main characters from that, the Sanderson sisters, are leading kind of a villainous show. So you've got different villains popping in, singing their songs. Great effects, great lighting. Really great use of projections. The pacing is perfect. We're not getting bored during any of these scenes. They're kind of getting the songs in, keeping the audience engaged, and then moving on to the next thing. So this was really the highlight of it. We saw it once from a kind of far position away, and we were sure to get to the midnight showing at 11:45 so that we could grab a nice spot pretty close to the front. If you check out the post, you'll see some pictures. Actually, embedded in this video, you'll see some pictures too. So that is definitely something that we think you should see. At least see one of the earlier 2 shows so that you can decide if you want to see it again. We traveled the world, saw all the Disney parks this year. This is the only show that we actually just had to see twice. So that's how high regards we hold it in. We're kind of Halloween-y people. We like this kind of stuff. We're Hocus Pocus fans. We're Nightmare Before Christmas fans. So, we're biased on that regards, but we actually usually don't like shows, and we just absolutely love this one. So definitely get excited about that. It's a must see if you're there for Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. And really, honestly, probably reason enough to go to the party if you're on the fence. So. If you're not into shows, you're not into fireworks, you're not into parades, then chances are you're into characters. So there are plenty of character greetings. I think we counted about 14 or 15 listed, and then there's more that just kind of pop up around the park. This is one of those chances where you'll actually see, we saw Brer Rabbit just walking around the street. So there are characters. You either have the kind of spookier characters, Jack and Sally, who you usually don't see around the park, or you can find Mickey and friends or Winnie the Pooh and friends dressed up as, in their Halloween costumes. So this is a great chance to get some different characters if you collect, character photos, stuff like that. Um, the lines do get long. If you're a hardcore character person, you know how this goes. It's a chance to see, Elvis, Stitch. People are going to be lining up early. We've heard of, some days, especially in the earlier parties, I think when all the locals are pouring in for these photos, we've heard of these lines getting up to 3 hours. We didn't see that, but, definitely plan for, an hour wait, maybe more if you're looking for some of these really big ones. If you're just willing to hop in any short lines, you'll find 15, 20 minutes, even shorter lines throughout. They do tend to move slow. People get excited. They're all in their costumes. Everyone wants a picture, baby in its costume with Minnie, and then dad in his costume with Minnie, and all this stuff. So these are pretty slow character lines as far as the things go, but it's worth it to get a couple pictures with characters in unique costumes. So. And last on our list of exclusives, this one is an easy one to miss, especially if you're not in the parks a ton, throughout the year. But the entire park really does transform for this party. You're going to hear different music than you're ordinarily going to be hearing. You're going to see different lighting. You're going to see different effects. They're really into fog. I like it. It's cool. It makes for some good pictures, but it's kind of kitschy. Once you see one foggy area, you've kind of seen them all. But take a lap around the park, walk around, check out just kind of the different lighting, different decorations, listen to the music. You'll hear different covers of things like Grim Grinning Ghosts, the Nightmare Before Christmas songs, stuff like that. This is really the entire park is an exclusive experience. It's a unique experience. This is not something that's isolated to specific places, and it's easy to miss that if you're not used to being around Magic Kingdom on a nightly basis. So that wraps up our list of exclusive things that are unique to the party. We want to finish up with some odds and ends. These are not small things, but they're kind of miscellaneous. So I want to start with number 10. Not everything is on the guide map. So pretty much always true of Disney is that there's going to be things going on around the park that they don't list anywhere. They like to surprise you, stuff like that. We mentioned earlier Brer Rabbit was just kind of hanging around in Frontierland. That's not on the map. He's not listed to be there. Similarly, you might see the Cadaver Dan's version of the Dapper Dan's around. If you swing by Haunted Mansion, you'll see some, spooky characters in front of there. So not everything's on the guide map. So don't think that just because you're checking things off, you know, you don't have to wander, you don't have to explore. We said earlier that the entire park is transformed. That's one reason to explore, but also because you're going to find specific things, whether it's characters hanging out or just some other kind of spooky ins and outs. You're going to find those if you walk around. They're just not listed on the guide map. Every so often we get questions about, how should the parties fit into my ride strategy? How long are the lines going to be? That kind of stuff. Don't worry about it because you're not there for the rides. Once 7 p.m. rolls around, you should not be on any rides other than the 3 that have overlays. And we've already talked about those and how to fit those in. I hate to have a plug for a Disney upcharge, but one I have to mention that happens during the party are the party exclusive magic shots. So if you haven't been to Walt Disney World, or maybe you're just not familiar with PhotoPass and magic shots, basically Disney has photographers around the park who will take photos of you, and they can basically Photoshop these and they add special effects to them. So on a typical day, you might go, you take a picture in front of the castle and they put Tinkerbell in it, something like that. During the party, they have some really cool ones. So we've got this one of us being, scared by the headless horseman, fun stuff like that that you can only get during the parties. You're not going to be able to get these, even on Halloween, outside the party hours. So, this is a pretty cool thing. Unfortunately, it is an upcharge if you want to get those photos. So they'll take them for free. They scan them onto your ticket or your Magic Band. But then if you want them, you're going to have to pay $69 for the one-day Magic Memory Maker. Sorry. So you're going to pay for $69 for the one-day Memory Maker to get all these photos. It will include everything from that day. So that's the upside to it. And if you have a traveling party, you can get everyone's photos. Just put them all on your Magic Band. You don't have to buy 4 different memory makers for 4 different people. So this last thing to know might seem a little strange, but I mostly mention it because it's something that I messed up for most of the time that I was there. Twitter and Instagram, you're going to want to be using the hashtag #NotSoScary. If you're not on Twitter or Instagram, hashtags are a great way to learn more about the party. So if you want to see what people are writing, what pictures they're posting, you got to create a Twitter or Instagram account, but that's fine. Just go ahead and do that for free. And then you can search and see, you search by this hashtag, it's # not so scary. And you can see what people are posting, what their photos are looking like, what their reviews are. It's just a really good tool in general to see what's going on at these events. You might not want to sit through long blog posts, or you might just kind of want to see what the average everyday person is saying. It's especially good. You put in hashtag not so scary, you'll find some tweets that are saying, hey, I had to wait in line for 2 hours for this character photo. It was totally worth it. Or maybe you see someone who says, oh, they cut off the line for this character at 11:30 last night, something like that. This is just a good way to stay informed on what's going on with the party. So it's hashtag not so scary. If you're there, use the hashtag not so scary. I unfortunately was doing most of my stuff using other hashtags. So you won't see a lot of it if you search for it. So that's our 13 things to know about Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. Again, most of this video is available in blog form with slightly less commentary on the blog, mousehacking.com. And we also have a full guide to the party that includes things like dates, prices, our tips, how we scheduled our day, all that kind of stuff. Again, mousehacking.com. You can find it, just by either searching Halloween or something like that. So if you have any questions, hit us up on social. Most of the time on Twitter's the easiest way, at mousehacking, but also Instagram at mousehacking and Facebook mousehacking. Otherwise, you can contact us through most of our blog posts or through the website. So thanks a lot for watching this video, listening to it. Hope you have a good time, and see you around.